Will a third consecutive win give BYU the dominant upper hand over Utah? Frank, no. And BYU has never been the little brother. That is a stigma Utah earned a long time ago, and you are still the little brother, all caps. Get used to it again. A win for BYU will do nothing more than move them one win closer to a visit to the big stadium for a Big 12 championship.
Well, if you get used to it again, that means that
you've got the dominant upper hand.
Well, that means that I think he's saying that it never went away. But if you get used to it again, that means you have to get used to something new again, which means there was a separation.
Which means it did go away.
He's contradicting himself. That's why he said no, is because in his mind, Frank never thought it went away. But it did. There's no question it did. There's no question to even someone who follows it, not at all. If you just presented the scores and you put W by one team, L by the other, all those W's in a row would dictate. Anyone could figure that out, even if you don't even know what the sport is. If I didn't even tell you the teams or the sport, and you asked me, when did Team A have its dominance? Oh, well, in the 70s and 80s. When did Team B have its dominance? Oh, well, in the 2000s. I mean, you wouldn't even know it. You wouldn't even need to know it. It speaks for itself. Ultimately, the result on the field is the great jury in the sky. And they have delivered their verdict. Or verdicts. Now, can that change? Yeah, because it did change. Can it change again? Can it go back to get back to where it once was? Yes.
Get back to where it once belonged? I thought you were going lyrics.
It could. Absolutely it could. And this would be a major step toward it. There's just no doubt about it, especially now when all those other things you had in the 70s and 80s, basically the parameters were the same. Then Ron McBride comes along, makes it pretty much even. Well, then when it changed again, the parameters weren't even. Independence, Pac-12, massive difference. Now, Big 12, not just Big 12, money. Can Utah compete financially with the big dogs in this league? That's what it's going to boil down to. And right now, from the football perspective, I think the big dogs are Texas Tech and BYU. So the parameters have been introduced brand new and basically wipes out 100 years of history.
Too many rule changes.
Yes. They're so dramatically different. Just in the last, 3 years. When did Kyle make that statement? We're going to see the reflection of top 25 to the reflection of top 25 money. That was about 3 years ago, wasn't it?
Might have been 4. He was certainly saying it 3 years ago, but actually might have been saying it 4.
So with that in mind, you look at it, and now everything that was is not completely, but largely irrelevant. And it's such a new dawn that it's from, let's just go, we'll go yours thing, 2021. Everything is brand new. And how's it going to be?
Between NIL and immediate transfers, those are massive changes.
Yeah, unlike anything we've ever seen.
Really. I mean, conference realignment has been a big deal, but those two things, wow.
Wow, he says.
Even bigger than conference realignment, and that's saying something.
It has the potential to be, for Texas Tech, it clearly is bigger. I mean, for some of these teams that have been big money all along, not as much. But for a program like BYU and Texas Tech, when all the guys who left to go to Bronco in, what was that, 2015 or so, they're all saying, my gosh, man, it was cheap. It was cheap over there. Look what I'm getting here. And you look at Texas Tech, it's got what they call a Matador Club. And
what does it cost to get in the Matador Club?
I don't know. But for the NIL, $63 million. They got 3,500 donors.
Dang, Tom.
Tom, Dick, and Harry, I would also add.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, you look at Texas Tech last year, right? They won 8 games. That was, since Mike Leach left, it's around 2010, they've won 8 games 5 times. 2 of those are under McGuire. 1 last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think he won his first year, second year, no. Last year, yes. Now they're 6-0, right?
8 seems like a foregone conclusion. They're jetting past that number.
Right. And last year, they had one of the worst defenses. I think they might even been literally the worst defense in the conference. Well, this year, in the nation, they're ranked number 1 against the run, and they're in top 10 sacks, fewest yards allowed, scoring, takeaways. Well, what did they do? And pass defense, they were last.
Mm-hmm.
Last. Now they're 6th in a pass-happy conference, basically, right? Well, what do? They sucked against the run last year. So the guys who started against Utah, front 4, all of them transfers with only this year of eligibility left.
They not only went out and got new guys, they went out and they didn't go out and get freshmen. They didn't go out and get the quote-unquote JC transfer, somebody's in the middle of his eligibility. They found people who they have years of film on, and they know this is what the kid did as a sophomore and junior, so we can count on them doing this as a senior. We'll pay him, and then we'll have all that money back to reinvest. We'll see how it goes. It's only a 1-year commitment. They can be out of eligibility.
They will be.
Perfect.
And then
actually a good plan.
They sucked on the defense on the back end, as I just said. And what did they do? They went and got 5 transfer defensive backs.
And it's all coming together.
I believe something like along the lines, I looked this up, obviously. I'm writing about it. 8 starters on defense that were brought in with only this year of eligibility. We think, okay, so what have they done recruiting-wise? Well, they've got a slew of 4- and 5-star kids, if you believe in that, ready to go in 26 and already in 27. And clearly they'll just go out and do the same thing in the early parts of the 26 calendar year.
We assume they have not spent all the money on the freshmen.
Psst.
Don't want to have to live by transfers forever.
Freshman.
But you could do it for another year.
Freshman.
Remember
when you were a freshman in high school? Freshman.
I caught a real break. Our school was so big, we went on double session. So we went from noon to 5. The older kids went from 7 a.m. to noon. It was a weird year. I wasn't used to being in school at 4:30 in the afternoon. But yeah, just in that little passing, I did get some freshmen.
Yeah, right.
Because they're all like, yeah, it's noon, we're out, and freshmen are going in.
And that was from the teachers. Freshmen. So I don't think they have no tolerance for freshmen. We'll see you later. Go get your training. Come back to us. And I think BYU has the money now, too. And money makes a huge difference. I mean, it has catapulted Texas Tech. Texas Tech from 2017 to 2021 had 5 straight losing seasons.
Not exactly rolling. Well, what could have turned it around, PK?
And they had Mahomes during some of that time, not that earlier. And they still weren't winning big. I mean, it's a team sport, obviously. One player doesn't make a difference. But now they're 6-0, ranked 7th, yada, yada. I mean, it just goes on and on. And so for BYU, I think they can approach that, too, in that ballpark. I don't know that they'll get to that level. And obviously this Cody Campbell is a difference maker. You know, he has bought and sold multiple billion-dollar businesses. Multiple, not just one. Anybody could do one. He's done multiple, right? And I think BYU's got those guys, and they're not going to settle for crappy middle-of-the-road football. They're just not. So what can the Utes do? And kids are going to be attracted to all that. You know, not every kid is looking to get last dollar, but it's important, obviously. And you would hope that when you're 18, you're not looking to do that. But at the same time, you know, when who was the kid that we talked to? Was it at a Baylor? I can't even remember. When we were down in Dallas, and he's talking about how he's doing all these investments, and he's getting these other guys to invest, to not just waste the money, to set yourself up. I felt like I was talking with a businessman.
It was an awesome interview.
Yeah.
I distinctly remember it.
Yeah. And that's what I want to hear, because you want long-term wealth. You don't want it just,
Right.
a quick hit and then gone
No,
here today,
the
gone tomorrow.
college football is going to end, and you're going to have, presumably, hopefully, years to live. And what are you going to do? And that player had a plan.
Yeah, and it was
And
really
it sounded
cool.
like he was executing. It made a lot of sense. He definitely had someone in a mentor role talking to him, giving him good
Talking
advice.
about real estate, strip malls, apartment
commercial
buildings.
estate, and own 10% of it. Don't put all your money in one place and spread it out for security.
And it was really cool to listen to him speak, and that's what it's about. That's what they should do. That's why they should set these guys up with educational purposes on how to do all that. Don't just give them a pile of money and say, "Here you go, buddy.
Right.
This should and here's what you need to do." With
and it wasn't just that they were doing it for him. He had clearly learned and grasped everything, or the interview wouldn't have been nearly as compelling as it was.
It was great.
You gave him a question, he ran with it. It was really good stuff.
Yeah. And so with that in mind, that's great. But they also want to win. They also want to do all that other stuff. They want interest, yada, yada. And BYU can have that. So it's not like I'm not painting a picture where Utah is in a perilous time. I don't believe that's the case.
Well, if you do that whole league by quarters thing you like to do, and maybe that doesn't fit, so maybe you just can't go 4 groups of 4. But there are schools that have been getting results that have been in good place. Iowa State, Utah, Arizona State. So, but over a bigger period of time, and obviously this league just came together, so we don't have that to look at.
Right.
But over a bigger period of time, on average, are they going to average 5-3 or 6-2? Is Texas Tech going to average 6-2 or 7-1? I don't think, or it'd be 9-0, 9 games. Are they going to average 7 or 8 wins?
I think they are.
Yeah. And so if they do, then does Iowa State battle them 1 year? Does Utah battle them another? The schools that are good, but don't have $63 million, maybe got $33 million sitting over there. Yeah. I have heard this, and I'm absolutely sure that I think you two have heard it, and if you haven't, you're going to hear it soon, but I'll bet you've already heard it, that the schools that don't have money are prioritizing keep the guys who are proven, number 1. Number 2, prioritize the guys you just described, the recruits coming in with 1 or 2 years left where they're filling a specific hole and you can get a specific thing out of them. And then you come up short. You tend to come up short with the freshmen. But because the freshmen aren't going to have the impact right away, they're spending the money for today, figuring we'll figure tomorrow out tomorrow. Maybe some of these freshmen are 3 stars who don't have to be paid, and they'll blossom. And then if there's a hole, we can go pay a guy there. So you could put it together, but it doesn't feel like that approach is going to pay off every year.
It's not. No, that's precisely what the Sun Devils are doing.
1 out of 2, 1 out of 3, or 1 out of 4 years, you can rise up and have a year. You'll get it right. Yeah. You'll hit on more 3 stars who develop or whatever it is. Whereas the teams with the money, and we'll see in the league right now, it looks like 2. Maybe there'll be more. And nationally, is that going to be 10 or 15 teams? They're going to put it together every year. Maybe Indiana's got the money to join that every year club. Not a neighborhood they've been living in, but again, 3-4 years ago, all the rules changed. And maybe Vanderbilt. I mean, we joke about the SEC, and it's half joke, half serious. Hey, everybody else has got money, so now they're not going to win national titles all the time. But was Vandy just unwilling to do some stuff, and now people with money are like, well, I'll do that. I didn't want to do that 10 years ago. But now, yeah, I'll write a check. I'm in. I don't see how Vandy's doing what they're doing in the SEC.
Well, you got to be able to do it year after year after year.
You do.
It's not just you can give a bunch of money today.
I wonder if that Kansas donation is going to pay off. What level are they going to play at? It's
hard for me to speak to that because I don't really know what their recruiting base is. And
thin. They got to go to Texas.
Okay, well, I don't know what that pipeline is.
Yeah, right.
And I don't really have knowledge
and
of it.
Will still
examine their rosters over the years.
It'll still change based on the coaches get these advantages, but then you got to capitalize on them. I mean, Kyle clearly had an advantage in the previous decade against BYU, and he capitalized on it. Yeah. He didn't have to have a 9-game win streak. Teams get upset. Shockers happen. He could have had a 3-game streak and a 4-game streak over here.
But it was
you got to capitalize.
At that point, it wasn't cool to be a BYU fan. Yeah. It's like they're just sort of out there, where it was way cool to be a Utah fan.
Yeah,
I think that's changed.
Conference realignment has definitely helped BYU, and then you got the transfer portal and the money on top of it. So to the question, if they win a third consecutive, do you get the dominant upper hand? Yeah, I think that 3-game win streaks have been hard to come by in this rivalry. So if you get that, I don't know if the kid who's there briefly can puff out their chest. You've been there all 3 years. You certainly can, but certainly the coaching staff can. And certainly for at least 1 year, they get to talk about that in recruiting nonstop. So I think, if you can win 3 in a row, shoulders back, chest out, strut a little bit, it's hard to do. It hasn't been done very often.
But I don't care about very often because all that has changed.
So could they put together a streak the way everything changed in the last decade and the U's put together
I would
a streak?
never say 9 in a row. That was outrageous, but who knows? I mean, we'll have to see each year as it comes down. But I think it's important for Utah to get, I don't want to say get back in this rivalry because they're still in it. I mean, they lost last year by 1 point, and whether you want to admit it or not, it was somewhat controversial. Obviously,
1 point game last second in a year when BYU was way up. That was a 10-win team. It was a very good year, and the Utes were clearly way down, and it was still a 1 point game. They
but
came
at the
right
same
down
time
the end.
that they had 1 point wins themselves.
They did. That's part of capitalizing. Stuff happens in games, so find a way to win.
But I think BYU has an opportunity to, at least depending on what your level of willingness is, to pull away. Not break away and run away and hide 9 in a row. I'm not saying that. But I think that they've got the momentum now. And if they win, that just adds to the momentum. Obviously, it doesn't slow it down. Whereas if Utah wins, it totally slows it down. And in my mind, on the field, we're back to even because essentially you're 1-1 in the same conference.
In the Big 12 era.
Yeah, right. So, and the other one was, you had a 2-year break.
2-year break. It was back the ways.
I can't remember a lick about that game. I can remember last year's, but that was like 5 years ago. And then they chose not to play because, I don't know, they were going to play Florida or something, whoop-de-doo. And now it's back even. They will play every year for the foreseeable. There'll be some realignment, so who knows. But with that in mind, then to me, it's even. And Utah then, and plus you get a boost. You win, you get some other folks who want to throw some money at you, and we'll see what this settlement and the $20.5 million really, really means. Because we've had a little bit of open season here. Mm-hmm. Well, that could change, and you have to go through this clearinghouse. And what's that going to mean? How's that going to play out? Is it going to be something that has a lot of teeth in it? We know if you raise the $20.5 million that you're probably going to give the $15 million to the football, and how you figure that out. But at the same time, if somebody can give you something that's out there that works, and the clearinghouse clears it, then somebody can get $7-8 million themselves.
Hard to believe that the cap is going to hold. It'd be interesting to see to what degree it leaks or if the dam bursts.
I think it will be there. I don't think it's going away.
Yeah, but it's like you said yesterday, and as soon as there's rules, everybody starts looking for loopholes.
Right, but that's over here. That's two different things. You got cap that the school can give, and then you got NIL that Cody Campbell can give. And so how much of that is then going to take over? And so the $20.5 million, which is now, and it'll probably go up and all that stuff, how much does that have the impact compared to, is that just chump change compared to the NIL, and they create something that you supposedly earn, and I'll give you, like DeBonsa, $8 million, right? So he's getting in before all these new things go to come to pass, and they're going to have this. You got to get it cleared to be acceptable. Right. Blah blah blah.
If the Cougars are bringing in one of the top 3 players in the country next year, or in 2 years, or in 3 years, it's got to go. That money for that kid has to go through the clearinghouse.
It's just shocking that you would say if. That's just
when they bring in one of the top 3 every year.
We're just getting started.
Okay, we will not be outbid.
Yeah, well,
there's that quote.
And so
that quote's the backstop for every discussion, man.
So let's say that's time will tell type of thing here, and we know BYU has it. Utah has to get it and keep it, and that's important. But they still have a lot of things going for them, and they will continue to have a lot of things going for them. And then, so, their thing, if they say they go down to Provo and lose a close game, it's like, come on, man. We have 2 games and a 5-point differential. We're right there. You know what I mean? And then if Texas Tech smokes the crap out of BYU, well, BYU is the second best team, and it's
but it's a Grand Canyon
between
size.
First and second.
Yeah,
that's kind of scary for all the other teams in the Big 12 because you're going to have to rely on something that you don't really know is going to happen. The traditional way of building and maintaining a big quality football program goes out the door a little bit because you're going to have to. You look at the Devils. Okay, well they got Levitt as a transfer and Scadaboo as a transfer, and they both blew up. Well, good for them. And now they were clearly going to. I mean, I picked them 5th, so I didn't expect them not to. I always expected them to take a step back. They weren't going to match that. They just don't have the money. There's not that much interest, and so that's one example. What's it going to be going down the line? When we get to 2030 and look back, what are we going to see? Is it going to be Texas Tech and BYU? Wouldn't necessarily surprise me. I mean, if this Ryder Lions is all that, then they've got big-time quarterbacks, for the next 7-8 years? Who knows if he's going to be that?
Right. Is he going to be that, and is he going to stay here?
Yeah, I mean, there's been number 1 quarterbacks, whoop-de-doo. They don't amount to anything. They transfer all over the place. Not just at BYU, obviously. They've had a couple, but it goes on and on. You can go down the list. Look at the Elite 11. It's like the Bust 11. I mean, there's so many of them, if not all of them.
So many of them wash out, transfer, a second school, a third school.
Especially now.
Yeah.
And they were doing that when you had to sit out, transferring multiple times.
So give us the next 5 years where you go every year, and maybe there'll be guys playing at 4 and 5 schools.
Right. Yeah, so that's why it's and you look at some of these dudes that Texas Tech has, they're on their 3rd school, and they transferred, and then they heard about the money being available in Lubbock, and I'm in. And they've made a big difference so far. So that's why this game has ramifications in the immediacy, and it also has ramifications not long term, but fairly long term, I think. Going forward.
For the foreseeable future, although we know in college football the foreseeable future is 5 years max.
That's all I will go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will not go more than that.
TV deals are up, conferences can realign, and we already know that we're questioning exactly how this cap is going to work. It's pro sports. Is this a hard cap or is this a soft cap?
With the NIL, it makes it soft.
Right. And just to what degree are they going to be able to get around the cap with NIL?
Right. And that will be intriguing to find out.
Right. When everybody's allowed $20 million, I have no doubt there are going to be schools getting to $25 million. Are they going to get to 35 or 45? I have no idea.
Deferred payments.
The Dodger style, huh?
Yeah.
All right, DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.